Hello and welcome to Amorim Cork. Every year we have the privilege of welcoming more than 4,000 people from various countries in the world visiting our beautiful Cork forest and our unique Amorim production sites. Because in 2020 we are celebrating our 150th anniversary, we were particularly excited about what we had planned to all the Cork Stopper customers that would be able to visit us throughout this special year. Unfortunately, the ongoing public health crisis made billions of people change their habits around the world and do things differently. At Amorim, we are no exception, but we always believe that we can turn challenges into opportunities. We are still celebrating this great century and a half of our history, and we still love to welcome people, so that they can learn more about the sustainability of Cork and its unbeatable technical capabilities. But rather than welcoming you in person, as we would always prefer, we are going to invite you to do a bit of a virtual tour of our production sites. We will take you from bark to bottle and try to make it as close as possible to actually being here with us. So please, come along and enjoy the ride.
This is where it all begins, the Cork Oak Forest. It's located in the Western Mediterranean Basin and covers 2.1 million hectares. It's part of one of the 36 hotspots of biodiversity in the world. 34% of this amazing forest is located in Portugal, and we produce almost 50% of the world's cork. A cork oak tree can live for over 200 years. To protect the tree, cork is only harvested every 9 years. The harvest of cork is a very skilled job, which requires a high level of expertise passed on from generation to generation. Cork needs to dry and stabilize for a minimum of 6 months, while is subjected to a series of preventative measures, from utilization of stainless steel pallets to the cutting of the lower part of the bark in contact with the soil, where most of the microorganisms precursors of TCA would be found.
Up to now, nature was in charge, and now it's our turn. Through highly sophisticated industrial processes, these cork planks will be transformed into cork stoppers. The first process when the raw material enters the factory is the boiling. The cork planks need to be boiled for 1 hour, so to clean them and also to restore some humidity, as they are quite dry from the months of stabilization. So this is the first sorting of the planks, of the cork planks. So this is where it's decided which cork can be used for the production of natural cork stoppers, so only the highest quality raw material, and which cork will be used either for technical cork stoppers or other applications. So it's up to his expert eyes and hands to decide this. So here is where the raw material arrives. So trucks loaded with these types of pallets of cork planks from the south, so from the forest, will arrive here. And then we'll take some pieces of it so we can test in our laboratory. And then we'll go on to vaporization. So here we have a stock for a few days production. And we have here all the information about each pallet of cork that we get. So the origin, the quality, the thickness, everything we need to know. We can just read the barcode and have all this information. So this here is the vaporization. So it's the first process that happens in this factory. So what we want here is to have an even humidity in all the cork that is going inside the factory to start the production of cork stoppers. So this will be going down, and with wet steam, dry steam, we can even the humidity. Make sure that if it's a very dry day, very hot day, it still has the humidity, the level of humidity it should. First, we need to cut the planks in strips. This machine will cut the strips automatically with the width needed depending on the size of cork stopper we are producing. So this is the manual punching. Here you can see where every single cork stopper has been punched from. It's very high quality raw material, and the cork stoppers coming from here will be excellent.
Using high-powered algorithms, we are now able to apply artificial intelligence to the punching of cork stoppers. This intelligent punching is able to analyze the surface of each cork strip and decide where to punch the best cork stoppers. Super Rose is a crucial step in a series of both preventative and curative measures designed to defeat TCA.
So we're here in one of our labs. Each factory has their own lab. We do several types of analysis, incoming raw material, several steps of the process, and also, of course, the final product. Here we are preparing the analysis for the natural cork stopper. We are doing a soaking for 24 hours. The cork stoppers will stay in an alcoholic solution at 12%, that will mimic wine. And then the liquid will go into the small flasks and will be sent to our main lab to do the chromatography analysis. So here we have the mechanical finishings. The first machine will polish the body of the cork stopper, the second the top. So now the cork stopper has its final dimensions.
Here we have the first electronic sorting. Each stopper surface is analyzed, and there's a first separation of different qualities. 2 other sortings will come afterwards for additional control of the stoppers. Every single natural cork we produce goes through this test. SVE is a technology which verifies that the cork stopper has the right internal structure, guaranteeing it's able to perfectly seal a bottle and thus protect the wine inside. Every cork stopper which is approved by the SVE test goes into the second electronic sorting. Here we are analyzing the quality of the surface of each cork stopper and sorting it into different qualities.
This is our main lab. We do here sensorial analysis and chromatography analysis. We process here samples that we receive from all the industrial units every day. In this room, we are doing sensorial analysis. We take a sample of cork stoppers from each batch and we do a soaking for 24 hours in deionized water. Then this water will be smelled in order to detect TCA. The samples from the industrial units are received here and then prepared for the chromatography analysis. There is a pre-incubation in order to volatilize TCA, which is then absorbed by a fiber and sent for analysis. NDTech stands for non-detectable technology. This is an amazing achievement, the result of years of research and development. This technology allows us to analyze the cork stoppers individually, one by one, in just 15 seconds, and so we can give an assurance that each cork stopper is TCA-free. Here, the cork stopper will be analyzed by a chromatographer, and this chromatographer can detect a minimum of 0.5 nanograms per liter. For you to have an idea what this means, this is equivalent to 1 drop of water in 800 Olympic swimming pools. So we are combining the best cork stoppers with an extremely advanced analysis technology to give you the best cork. This is the washing process. Cork stoppers are washed with water and hydrogen peroxide. This will clean them, disinfect them, and also, depending on the concentration of peroxide that we use or the length of the cycle, we can also lighten the color of the cork stopper, getting different tones of color. This is ROSA. ROSA stands for Rate of Optimal Steam Application. It's a cleaning treatment. With ROSA, we apply steam in order to volatilize TCA, so we can guarantee cork stoppers with a non-detectable TCA performance. This is where we're colmating the cork stoppers, and by colmating I mean that when we have lower quality natural cork stoppers, which are still a premium product, what we're going to try and do is fill all the small holes you might have on the surface with cork dust and a special type of glue. So we make it seem more even and more perfect. Here we have the third electronic sorting. We do this to make sure each cork stopper is well sorted in its category. The first process when the raw material enters the factory is the boiling. The cork planks need to be boiled for 1 hour, so to clean them and also to restore some humidity as they are quite dry from the months of stabilization. So this is the first sorting of the planks, of the cork planks. So this is where it's decided which cork can be used for the production of natural cork stoppers, so only the highest quality raw material, and which cork will be used either for technical cork stoppers or other applications. So it's up to his expert eyes and hands to decide this. Cork that is not used for the production of natural cork stoppers can be used for the production of technical cork stoppers. It needs to go through a grinding process. So when you grind cork, we get all these different types of granules, so different sizes, different densities. So each type will be used for different things, different applications. So to produce neutral cork stoppers, we use these granules here, 1 to 2 millimeters. Here we have bigger ones used for different types of cork stoppers, and all the granules you can see here are used for other applications. This is ROSA. ROSA stands for Rate of Optimal Steam Application. It's a cleaning treatment. With ROSA, we apply steam in order to volatilize TCA, so we can guarantee cork stoppers with a non-detectable TCA performance. So we're here in one of our labs. Each factory has their own lab. We do several types of analysis, incoming raw material, several steps of the process, and also, of course, the final product. This is one of the tests that we do here in the laboratory. Cork needs to stay for 24 hours in a soaking of an alcoholic solution at 12%, so this mimics wine, and then the liquid will be extracted and sent to our main lab where we'll do the analysis by chromatography. These are the molding machines. A mix of granules and a binding agent will come from above and then compress into small holes on a tray. We will mold each neutral cork individually. And the cork stopper comes out of the machine. Still a bit warm, still soft, so it needs to stabilize for around 2 days so it can go on into the mechanical finishings. So here we have the mechanical finishings. So you can see all the stages here. The first machine here in the mechanical finishing will polish the body of the cork stopper. You can see the difference in diameter here. The second one will polish the tops. Here you can easily see the difference in height. And the last one will do this chamfer here just to make it easier for the bottling. This is where we wash the cork stoppers. They'll be washed with water and hydrogen peroxide. This will disinfect them, will clean them for any dust they might still have. Then they need to dry, and then they will go on for the final quality control. This is a final quality control. It's an electronic sorting. So these machines will analyze the surface of the cork stopper in order to reject any small defects or flaws that they might find. So as you can see, this is a perfect one, perfect cork stopper. This is our main lab. We do here sensorial analysis and chromatography analysis. We process here samples that we receive from all the industrial units every day. The samples from the industrial units are received here and then prepared for the chromatography analysis. There is a pre-incubation in order to volatilize TCA, which is then absorbed by a fiber and sent for analysis. So the cork stoppers will be packed into these bags, so they'll be sent to a different factory where they'll be finished. The first process when the raw material enters the factory is the boiling. The cork planks need to be boiled for 1 hour, so to clean them and also to restore some humidity as they are quite dry from the months of stabilization. So this is the first sorting of the planks, of the cork planks. So this is where it's decided which cork can be used for the production of natural cork stoppers, so only the highest quality raw material, and which cork will be used either for technical cork stoppers or other applications. So it's up to his expert eyes and hands to decide this. We need to cut the outer layer of the plank, which we call the back, and the inner layer, which we call the belly, to get the middle part, so the highest quality cork. And then we can punch the discs automatically. After the punching of the natural cork discs, we need to polish them. Here we are choosing which side of the disc has the best quality. So we can mark the other one, the one which won't be visible and will be glued to the body of the cork stopper. This is an electronic sorting. The machine is analyzing the outer surface of the disc, the tops and the side, in order to divide them in different visual classes. Every cork disc produced is analyzed by this X-ray machine in order to guarantee it has the right internal structure. This is Cork Nova. It's the most recent weapon in the Amarim's arsenal against TCA. It allows us to produce discs with the highest TCA performance in the whole industry. So we're here in one of our labs. Each factory has their own lab. We do several types of analysis, incoming raw material, several steps of the process, and also, of course, the final product. This is one of the tests that we do here in the laboratory. Cork needs to stay for 24 hours in a soaking of an alcoholic solution at 12%, so this mimics wine, and then the liquid will be extracted and sent to our main lab where we'll do the analysis by chromatography. cork that is not used for the production of natural cork stoppers can be used for the production of technical cork stoppers. It needs to go through a grinding process. So when we grind cork, we get all these different types of granules, so different sizes, different densities. Here we have bigger ones used for different types of cork stoppers, and all the granules you can see here are used for other applications. This is ROSA. ROSA stands for Rate of Optimal Steam Application. It's a cleaning treatment. With ROSA, we apply steam in order to volatilize TCA, so we can guarantee cork stoppers with a non-detectable TCA performance. So the natural cork discs are ready. We have the grinded cork. So now we need to mold the champagne cork stopper. We're going to mold each body of the cork stopper individually. This is a molding machine. A mix of granules and the binding agent is compressed into individual holes in the tray. Then the heat of the oven will activate this binding agent, forming this way the body of the cork stopper. So this is the permeability test. We are applying pressure there to each cork stopper at 6 bar. So if the cork stopper is good, we'll see small bubbles coming out from the top. But if there's a defect, like this one on the right, we're going to see this amount of air coming out. So here we punched a hole in this cork stopper so you can see what happens. So the first thing we need to do after the molding is to polish the tops of the body of the cork stopper so we can glue the natural discs on. So after we polish the tops of the body of the cork stopper, the surface is now ready. So we can glue the 2 natural cork discs. And this is very important because it's what will be in contact with the champagne or the sparkling wine inside the bottle. So here we are gluing the first disc. So you can see the disc is pushed already with the binding agent on, and here the second one. So the second disc needs to be oriented. So the side that had been branded before will be on the side of the disc being glued and won't be visible. And now the cork stopper already has its 2 discs.
We do this additional marking, so when the mechanical finishings are done, the machine is able to orient the cork stopper to do the chamfer on the top.
So after we glue the 2 natural discs, we need to polish the cork stopper. So polish the body, the tops, and do this chamfer around. So now the cork stopper has its final dimensions with the 2 discs on the bottom. So champagne cork stoppers need to be weighted individually. So here we have a scale that will weigh each cork stopper, and if the weight is not in the right interval, it will be rejected. Now we have electronic sorting that will check the champagne cork stoppers for any defect and will also sort them into different qualities. This is our laboratory where we do every kind of testing, visual, mechanical or chemical. So here we are doing a visual control of the cork discs to make sure there aren't any defects and they are divided into the right classes. In this room, we do the mechanical testings. Insertion, for example, we can measure the forces needed to insert a cork stopper inside a bottle, as well as the extraction forces, and also torsion, so we can measure the maximum torsion a cork stopper can withstand. This is our main lab. We do here sensorial analysis and chromatography analysis. We process here samples that we receive from all the industrial units every day. The samples from the industrial units are received here and then prepared for the chromatography analysis. There is a pre-incubation in order to volatilize TCA, which is then absorbed by a fiber and sent for analysis. One of the final steps finishing a cork stopper is branding. So we can print basically anything a client might need, a name, a logo, maybe even a year. And this can be done 3 ways. So we can do this with laser, what we're doing right here, with ink or with heat, so depending on the purpose. For example, here, we simply branded the cork stopper with year 2019. This is a laser branding. This is the final step, the surface treatment. Here we are applying a very thin coating of silicone around the cork stopper to make it easier for the bottling, allowing the cork stopper to glide inside the neck of the bottle.
After a final inspection control, cork stoppers are packed by a count of 1,000 in sealed bags, ready to be supplied to our customers.
We reached the end of the process. Our part is done. These cork stoppers are ready to be shipped all around the world. Now, it's your turn.
Thank you for joining us and for watching this incredible process that brings cork from bark to bottle. Cork is 100% renewable, 100% natural, and 100% recyclable material with an incredible complex cellular structure that makes it ideal to seal a bottle of wine, champagne, or spirits. To this unique gift of nature, we apply the most cutting-edge technology available, including recent sophisticated anti-TCA systems such as Cork Nova or NDTech. And despite all this, we are not standing still, and as promised, at the end of 2020, we will see a new wave of technology that will allow all our cork products to have a non-detectable TCA performance. Fulfilling that promise we made to winemakers around the world is just another great way of celebrating a century and a half of working together with the wine industry. I hope you enjoyed it and that soon you can join us to see for yourself how we make every year 5.5 billion of these stoppers that will find their way to wineries and distilleries around the world. Next year, we will not be celebrating 150 years of existence. We will be just adding yet another year to our history. But I will assure you that we will make it worth your while. Until then, thank you and stay safe.